Hello, Frugal Force. This is Captain Frugal reporting for duty for another episode of Road Rage. And today I'm going to talk about a subject this has already been hit a little bit, but I want to talk maybe a little bit more depth and a little more thought about it. Recently, not too long ago, it's been announced that comic books were going to be in Gamestop. And I know that's got a lot of pros and cons to it and things. But we also, too, now have DC are putting some books in Walmart. So I think the comic market is discovering and finally realizing that by changing their distribution, they've done a lot of harm to themselves. I know there was some reasons why they left that, the traditional stores and things. There's a lot of reasons why. I'm not going to go in depth in that on this video. But it's nice to see them trying to get the books into more hands, because that was part of the problem. The only way to get a comic was to... Oh, there's telling me where to drive. The only way to get a comic was to go to, your local comic shop. And granted, I want to support them as much as possible, but that's not always easy to do. For example, that's why I don't get to do reviews frequently on the comic book day, Wednesday, when they come out, because I just can't make it to the comic shop very well on a Wednesday due to my work and family obligations. Sorry about that, I have a cough. So one of the things about these road rages, they're off the cuff. Sorry about that. So anyway, we have that now in more hands. Now, as I said, this could cause competition, increased competition for comic book stores. So that could be a problem for them. It could be doing a little harm that way. But let's look at some of the positives, though. There's a lot of crossover between gaming and comic books. So by having these in the hands, at GameStop, it's going to be able to get more of these in more of the hands of potential readers. Also, if you're not aware, it seems that Walmart and GameStop have a deal. You notice most Walmarts, they have a little strip store, right in front of their parking lot, and those have GameStops. So notice that too. And they have the DC comic books in the Walmart. So they're increasing, a lot of eyes on the comic books, and that's needed. So it's going to give them that at Walmart to give the that market to go, hey, I might want to try one of these out. Or if you go to the GameStop and you buy a Batman game, you might buy a Batman comic. But here's some problems too with that. Is at a price of a $3.99 comic, you could buy a used video game at GameStop. So is that really going to work out? I don't know. I hope it does. I hope it increases market exposure. But here's another thing, too. Some people already complain that GameStop has already become, look at half of its games, the other half is toys and everything else. GameStop has also picked up some of the exclusives that Toys R Us had and dropped. So they're going to have some of those Marvel toys and things that were exclusive previously to Toys R Us is now going to be at GameStop. So there's a bonus, too. But we do have to be careful, because if you think about it, GameStop has been getting hit and reducing sales due to digital downloading. Okay? Now, people go, so what? What's that have to do with this? Well, comic book market. The comic book market has not been a really surging market now. This might not surge it, because that's also has some of the digital as well. So it's almost like Kmart merging with JCPenney's and expecting a revolutionary result. It might not be so good, because both of them, sort of, the digital seems to be on the upswing, the physical media is on the down. Now, who knows? Maybe it'll be able to pull it off. I'm hoping that it gives comic books a surge. It gets some people trying them again that, wouldn't have normally, and increase sales. But it is, a potentially double-edged sword. Hopefully it'll increase sales, and this is probably best case scenario. People will start trying those comics, get interested, and start going to their local comic shop. That way they can say, hey, you know what, I want to get more of these, put them on a pull list, and that kind of thing. Granted, maybe will GameStop get a pull list? I don't know. They push pre-orders like crazy, right? But there's all kinds of sales tactics, too, that can be used. So, hey, did you like to create a pull list? Because, they already, every time if you ever buy a game from GameStop, they're always pushing a pre-order, Or maybe they can do special deals. You buy the Batman game, get a Batman comic. Buy a Spider-Man game, get a Spider-Man comic. Something cool like that. They could do some special connections there. Or some package deals. Buy the new Spider-Man game, get a Spider-Man action figure, and a Spider-Man comic. So there's a lot of potential there that is to be had. Now, as I said, then I hope that they create more interest in the comic books. That way maybe people will start going to their local comic shop that hadn't been, to maybe get some back issues, and then when they go to get the back issues, they realize they can get a pull list from there, and they just start going to their local comic shop. But that's maybe me being a little bit quixotic, a little overly optimistic, in other words, and the hope for all things to work well. And see, it's telling me where to go. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this quick thoughts. What are your thoughts on GameStop selling comic books? What are your thoughts on Walmart selling the DC books? Do you think this is going to be a infusion that the comic book industry needs to increase its market, or you think it's going to be an abysmal failure with no help at all? Let me know your thoughts. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit like and subscribe and hit that notifications bell. Also, double check to make sure you're still subscribed, because I have lots of people still telling me they keep getting unsubscribed from my channel. And if you want to make sure that you're getting getting your notifications and you don't mind, you can help us out by going down to the info bar down below, and we have a Patreon where you can join for as little as $1 a month. Now, that Patreon money goes to help improve the videos. It helps us get things to review. We've improved the lighting with that. We've improved the sound with that. I'd like to eventually improve the camera, but we're using some of it right now for products to review and things like that, as well as we've used a good portion of it to buy some stuff for giveaways, and we've already sent some out, so hopefully you'll be one of those too. All right, until next time, keep it frugal.